This is the old Radical MP 2023, and according to Head, it's not orange enough.
No, this is the 2025 version, but which one plays better?
Let's find out.
What has changed in the new model? Well, basically, Ben, it's Exotic 2.0, isn't it?
Yes. Every other specification is exactly the same between the old version and the new version.
Except for the Exotic 2.0. Now, I'm going to give you an Exotic 2.0 demonstration once again, in case you've missed it over the last 2 years. It is a material that expands when the racket is moving, and then on contact it comes together, creating greater stability and a better feel. Quite a unique feel, in fact.
It has, and Head have put it into all of their recent rackets, so every new version has had it, and we've liked it in almost all of them, because it does significantly change the feel. The question is, does it improve the feel depending on the other characteristics of the racket? In terms of the other spec, both of these Radical MPs are 1619 string patterns. They both are 98 square inch. They both weigh 300 grams and they both have a balance point of 320 mil. All the other tech is the same. They both have graphene inside. They both have a variable beam. They both have sound grommets and they both have a control pattern. So really, the only difference, aside from the colour, is that addition of Exotic 2.0, and that is essentially what we're going to try and find out. Does it improve the Radical?
They've been strung with Head Hawk Touch, just like Yannick Sinner likes, and Sasha Zverev. And Ben, even though I said this on another video, they choose that string. Out of all of the strings, that's the one they choose, apparently. Speaking
of things we've already said, big coup for Head to have the finalists of the Australian Open not just using their rackets but also their string. Hawk Touch is a control string. These are meant to be control rackets, so control on control. We'll see how they feel. We're £50, I presume. We always
£50 attention.
Same stringer, same time. Let's go and give it a go, shall we?
Yeah, let's hope I can keep the ball in the court. Okay, so we've been and played and returned. We haven't just played in the shop. We've gone and played.
We tried. There's not quite enough space.
No. Your first thoughts, Ben?
The new version is a very, very, very nice racket.
Yeah.
The old version is a very nice racket. It hasn't changed significantly, but there is a difference.
Yes, I think Exotic 2.0 changes the feel, and it changes some of the outcome in terms of the categories that we'll go through, but in terms of feel, it is different. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's better feel or a better feeling with the other thing, but it is certainly a different feel.
Yeah, I would say it is better, but marginally, and better for me.
Yes.
But not necessarily. I wouldn't say every single person is going to prefer new over old.
Yeah.
I think a lot will, but there's definitely not a guarantee.
Yes, and in short, I would choose this one over this one, not only because I prefer the colour, but because I prefer the way it plays and the outcome I get on the ball. Without further ado, shall we categorise?
Yes, categorise.
Our first category, as always, is power. Any significant difference in power?
Not significant, but there is a difference.
Agreed.
Exotic 2.0 is just an improvement of Exotic. Like Joe said, it tightens up under impact, and it just feels like it's just been developed and enhanced a little bit, so you just get a bit more power, but we're talking a few percent here. It's not like it's changed it and added 50% again. The one thing I did notice is that you get a little bit more off center, a little bit more when defending, maybe.
Yes.
So when you're asking the racket to do more and you're doing less, you seem to get more out of the new version.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yes, it's the stability that you get from that tightening up on contact that means that those off center contacts feel much better and you get better outcomes.
If you're playing front foot, you're in charge, big long swings, I think the difference becomes very, very minimal.
Yeah.
So it really is. If you're doing the work, you won't notice much of a difference in terms of power. Mm-hmm. If you're defending, blocking a return, volleying maybe, then the new one's going to give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, but overall, for power, we're going for the...
Yes, Victorious, the new one. On to spin.
The same?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, I couldn't tell the difference. You've got the same essentially the same string bed, the 1619. You've got the same head size. You've got the spin is the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of it.
Yeah, and it gives you exactly what you want. If you want loads of spin, you'll get loads of spin. If you don't want, you won't. It's not going to enhance it or take it away.
Yeah.
It's just an tennis racket giving you as much spin as you want.
Especially with Hawk Touch in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And that sort of control string leads us onto our control category.
Yeah. Again, there's a fantastic control racket.
Yeah.
It is a control racket. That's what the Radical is for. The old one, the new one are both control rackets. There's not a huge difference in between them.
Yeah.
You could say maybe just because you get that stability off center, technically the new version is going to offer you a bit more control.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Again, we're talking fractions of a difference.
I think that these are quintessentially control rackets, and while yes, you're getting power and spin, it is control that you're getting most out of these rackets. You can really open up and go for it, and it is hard to blast the ball long. You have to really try to do so.
Yeah.
They are both definitely control rackets. I don't think I could split them in terms of which one is more controlly. There you go.
An edge. A hint of a victory.
An edge, again, probably like you say, on those off-centre contacts.
Yeah.
But there you go. Touch and feel.
This is the big difference, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and they do feel significantly different. Again, this is not a good or bad. It is a different, softer. In the older Exotic 2023 model feels a little bit more, a little bit softer, a bit more flexible, just not quite as stiff or as sharp. Some people might like that. Personally, I don't.
I think it's so in the new version you get the Exotic down into the handle, and I think that's what I feel the most. It feels sort of less vibration-y. It feels more stable, more solid through here. I think it does come down to personal preference. I think that whether you like that, you maybe feel more connected to the ball, connected to the hand with the old version, perhaps less so with the new version is how I feel. It is really a toss-up. The feel is fantastic, and the Exotic does a magnificent job in both. It's going to be down to you whether you like the 2.0 or the 1.0 or the original.
Yes. So that's where the main difference is. Apart from our last category, which is looks, and normally we kind of give this a bit of a short shrift, but I actually think it's more important in this racket than any other we've done before, because the Radical has been a very good racket for a very long time, but I feel like people have been avoiding it. It has looked terrible for a long time. A lot of the versions have been very, very ugly since the good old days back 20 years ago. They were a bit of a mess for a while, and this new version is cleaned up significantly. It just looks like a nicer thing to use. I feel like people are gonna, orange or not, it's just a bit cleaner, it's a bit crisper. All this horrible writing around the outside has been taken and put into the throat like all the other head rackets, and it just feels like it's going to be actually a very popular racket that people are going to want to use because of the way it looks.
Yeah, I think it looks terrific. I actually like this one because I like the contrast and the dark blue and the thing, but very difficult to match the grip. And actually, what you're going to get now is you're going to get a live unboxing, because I'm going to reveal to you actually how smart this racket can look. You didn't think it could get more orange? It can. A striptease. Look at that bad boy. Now we are fully orange, and I think that racket looks even better.
So, slightly more power, slightly more control, very different feel, much better looking. As far as I'm concerned, the new version is the one to go for.
Yeah, it's an upgrade.
But not significantly. If you've got the old one, give it a try. If you've got a choice between the two, there's no reason you wouldn't prefer this, so give them both a try. All in all, the Head Radical is a fantastic control racket. The new version is just slightly better.
Agreed. As always, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.